A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Night I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
When Alex became a god, he thought he would have no problems at all. Until... He landed in the Divine Dimension and was tasked with protecting the entire multiverse.
Am I connected to every single Alex Ambrose that ever existed?
Alex could travel across dimensions, defying the laws of time and space, to help other Alexes throughout the multiverse. But then everything changed.
No! Aw!
I have to go back and save them.
But if Alex went back to the mortal world, he would relinquish all of his power and his memories.
I don't have a choice. I must go back.
When Alex returned back to Earth, he goes back to being your average business tycoon millionaire, unaware that the people he cared most about are in danger.
Someone help me!
Yvonne, what happened?
I was attacked by a monster. Alex? What's going on? Get away from him! He is my boyfriend!
Who attacked Yvonne in the forest? What will Debbie do next? Who will Alex choose between the two women? Will Alex ever remember who he was before traveling into a different multiverse? To hear what happens next and whether Alex can stop the deranged monster before he strikes again, listen to the original audio drama, Insta Millionaire Returns, only on Pocket FM. Download the app now and find out.
Presentation.
We're back, baby. It's finally time to go live on a Sunday once again here with the Mission Art Challenge Top Split Strength of Field broadcast, live for only the second time ever here on Turn 200 from virtual Sebring International Raceway and the International Layouts. Nearly 4 miles of fun here in 17 turns in the flat Florida Swampland airports. Yes, a lot going on here today, and a lot of drivers are ready to try and get themselves to the top of the standings after 20 minutes here for the Mission Art Challenge. Welcome back. It's Tommy Cook and it's Matt Williamson. We're together again after some goings-on the last couple of weeks, but it's Mission Art time. Are we ready?
Oh, we are definitely ready. Fun to be back here. Both of us back together again. It's getting a little less common here on Sundays with all the kinds of stuff going on in real racing and, spending time with family on vacations, things like that. But we are back together again and got a good small group of drivers here with us today.
It's all right. You know what? A small group of drivers here is the opposite problem that we had when the Formula Super Series was here. We had a big group of drivers there. Things went awry quickly, so maybe just 11 today will be exactly what the doctor has ordered. Who is to say? But we've got cars on track here and some time to kill. 2.5 minutes left until we get to the starting grid. That seems to be a rarity. We usually get here hot on the trail of qualifying being about to expire and having to rush through the starting grid. But if you didn't see it, we have posted the Mission R Challenge top split from last week at Monza. Got recorded a few days ago and is up now. Actually, a pretty entertaining race. Again, a smaller field, but I mean, you can't go wrong with just the regular Monza Grand Prix circuits. And the driver that won that race is the 3-time and defending series champ. Spoiler alert, JJ Wang went to victory lane, but he definitely had to earn it. Probably the best race of the season thus far. So he is out on track right now, trying to put up a qualifying lap. The time to beat belongs to Olivia Hayward. It feels like it's been forever since Olivia's been here on a Sunday top split. But Olivia, top of the pops right now with a 156.35. We'll see what JJ can do. He has got a long way to go around, as his first lap did not count.
Ellis Bice coming to the start-finish here, looking for good starting position.
And Ellis will stay in the 4th position, about 0.4 of a second slower on his second go-around. He did not have a great week last week. Started deep in the field. Got hit pretty early. Had to recover. And got his elbows out as well. It was fun, but not the result that he was looking for sure. Meanwhile, JJ Wang right now down the Ullman Straight, which will lead him to the 17th and final turn, even though that is really 3 turns. It's listed as 1. See, there's a right, there's a right, and there's a right. That's 1 turn. The Sunset Bend corner in 17. And JJ will go to the top of the board, 155.89. Big lap there, nearly half a second up on Hayward. And that was timed perfectly, because time will expire here on qualifying. Hello to Jeff Mathis in Boxless Hobo. I always forget if Boxless Hobo is Dakota or Zach Flaum. It's one of the two of them.
It is not.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Zach.
I was going to say, I feel equally about him anyway. And who's to say how that feeling is? Anyway, time for the starting grid. JJ Wang and Olivia Hayward on the front row here. It will be Matthew Miles and Timothy Reed back in action here on row number 2. Ellis Spice and Roel de Mulder then on the 3rd row. Sean Bowman, Rebecca David on row number 4. Georgie Trepsick and Rayson Pimentel. And then Christopher Capicoto will be the 11th and final starter here today. The final 3 drivers did not post a time. And Matt, what are the track conditions here under the sun in Florida?
Yeah, under the sun, a tiny little bit of shade has come out since qualifying, so maybe a little bit cooler than it was for quali, but still 106 degrees on the track temperature. If the sun comes out, that may get a little bit warmer as we continue here on through the race. We got 20 minutes, time to race here as always, and the starts this season have been very interesting to say the least. Everybody looking for that advantage here off the start, because oftentimes it has determined kind of where you finish in these races. It's incredibly important to get track position early, so looking for another interesting start here. Very aggressive, I'm sure.
Waiting on Racing Pimentel to hit the starting grid. 30 seconds left to go. Seems I've started an argument maybe in the chat. Thank you all very much for joining us here. And as a reward, it's time to go racing at Sebring. Wang and Hayward will begin the dash to the first turn. Into this wide sweeper we go. Wang with the advantage. Hayward slipping back.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Oh, that was
Georgie
Trepsick.
Yikes.
Able to hang on to it. That was pretty impressive to be able to hang on to it.
And Hayward will hang on to second for now as we go through the 2, 3, 4, 5 complex here, getting ready for the big bend. Headed towards the big danger section here for the drivers in the mid-pack. That's the hairpin. Really for anybody that can lock up and blow through this turn. It's easy to do. Pretty clean through the hairpin for the entire field. Slowing down for 10. Rounding Collier here. Into 12 in the towers section of the course here, turn 13.
Everybody pretty even so far. Ellis starting to reel in Timothy Reed for fourth just a little bit, but has not had any real opportunities to make anything happen just yet.
Way out wide to try and set up for the Lamar turn. Always a good day when we can get Timothy Reed out here on a Sunday. No Thursday top split strength of field race this week, and I wonder why.
Yes. Unfortunately, yes.
Same reason we did not broadcast the Max V race on Thursday, because there wasn't one. Nobody doing a whole lot of anything on Thursday night. That's one lap in the books. J.J. Wang with the lead. Olivia Hayward about a second back. Miles and Reed in Spice close together here. Well, Miles getting closer to Hayward as Reed maybe having to play a little bit of defense here with Ella Spice and Raul de Mulder right behind him.
Yeah, on board right now with Spice. Gonna take a look at him behind Reed here. Seeing how he's able to navigate. He's trying to take some different lines, give himself a little bit of clean air as much as he can.
Shuffling from 7th on back for positions, but nothing inside the top 6. Everybody holding serve from where they qualified thus far. And this track has a lot of what this car likes in terms of some fairly long straightaways, but some pretty slow and tight constricted corners. I mean, I can't imagine it would lend itself to too many passing opportunities, but certainly with how narrow this track is, I mean, you can very easily overdrive and put yourself in a bad spot to be overtaken.
Certainly, and there's, like you mentioned, big slowdowns, tight corners. Very easy to get yourself in a bad position on entry into those corners that are very tight, have big slowdown areas. You gotta be on it getting into your braking zone.
Can't believe Jeff and Zach aren't out here racing. We appreciate you being in the chat, though. Happy to be back here on a Sunday afternoon as there goes another lap down. Wang in control. He's expanded the lead here. Half a second faster than Hayward this last time around. And Hayward a little bit of space back to Matthew Miles. Miles a second and a half now ahead as J.J. Wang, I think, just had a bit of an off track there. Didn't lose any time, though.
You could see the tracks through that red dirt as well. Reed, Spice, and DeMulder continue to inch closer together here. And Georgie Trepsick, after that initial, I don't know, a bit of a hairy incident, I guess you could call it. He's gotten up to 8th, one more position, and is working to try and get to the 8 of Rebecca David and make a pass there.
Racing Pimentel just went around in the 9th position, and it sent Sean Bowman and Christopher Capicoto scrambling to get around.
In recent weeks, we've seen Ellis Spice have his fair share of difficult passes to make. That is for certain, and looks like it's going to be another one of those days here potentially with Timothy Reed.
Used the bumper quite a bit last week. I'm sure his incident point total was interesting after Monza, having a race with Amy Grimmie as well as Laura Hill. A lot of bumping and banging back there.
And
But
the week
certainly-
before that, Spice and
That's
Grimmie,
Netterton.
they had their fair share of exchanges there as well.
I mean, a lot of Monza not tight, but certainly some big slowdowns, big drafting zones. But here in Snetterton are both pretty tight. At least there are some longer straights here than on the 300 layout of Snetterton.
So DeMolder has started to fall backwards a little bit here. Was right there with Spice, has now backed up to Davin and Trepsick behind. So now that's a 3-way battle for 6th, and still a 2-way battle for 4th between Reed and Spice.
Big problem for Christopher Capicoto. He has just crashed and has a meatball flag. Hayward and Miles getting close together here now as well. Just a few car lengths separated.
Tire temperature really starting to play a factor here. Some drivers noticeably going forward or moving backwards here. As we can... Oh, there's contact!
Oh!
DeMolder
Trepsick,
is around.
DeMolder. Rebecca Davin got a piece of that as well. Yeah, big problems there for Georgie and for Roel.
DeMolder definitely loses the most positions. Didn't get a great look at it, just kind of saw it in the background of the shot. Let's go ahead and take a look. And DeMolder just gets a little bit wide and then dips a couple of tires into the grass. Davin trying to get through. The two of them make contact, and then Trepsick trying to avoid both of them around the outside gets clipped as well. Davin trying to slide through the opening, but DeMolder trying to keep it on the racetrack came together, and Trepsick, bit of an innocent bystander there, as I believe that's Bowman that was off into the dirt as well. So things a little bit more spread out now after that incident.
Bowman's been having a juke and jive to not find his way into multiple accidents here. And he just got passed by Roel DeMolder, who's trying to move his way back forward. Hayward still hanging on to second here, but Matthew Miles has been closing in. Now so is Timothy Reed. So second, third, and fourth going to be all right here together. But they are not catching J.J. Wang, that is for sure. 4.3 second lead across the last timing loop. You're approaching the halfway mark of the race. I will say J.J. backed up quite a bit at Monza in the closing laps towards Shinny Inuzuka. So we'll have to see if that happens again. But something tells me that Hayward is not going to be in a position to try and track down anybody. Olivia, I'm going to have to fight tooth and nail to fend off Miles and Reed.
Yeah, Hayward under a lot of pressure right now. Has handled it well thus far. Just getting to halfway through this one. but it's going to have to be darn near perfect to keep this second place position. You see Miles goes a lot wider there than Hayward to try and set up that final corner. Or, excuse me, not the final corner, but one of the last. Technically the second to last, I think, but there's
far
this.
from it.
There's this.
Say his name and he appears. Sean Begley's in the chat. Hello, hello. Everybody in the chat has an opportunity to rejoin the Daredevil series on Wednesday nights from Auto Club Speedway. Hope to see everybody out on track for that. Formula Super Series is around the turn here as well. Just a few weeks away, I do believe. So excited for that. I think August 9th, maybe, if you had to press me.
I believe the August 9th is a Friday.
Okay, well, yeah, August 9th is definitely a Friday. Well, it's coming up soon.
It would be either the 5th or the 12th.
Just wait for Zach to chat it. I probably should have looked.
I know that the 9th is a Friday because I'm supposed to be closing on the 9th, so
there you go.
There you go.
Speaking of closing, whoa! Snap loose there from Miles. Holy cow.
That's and then Hayward off into the dirt a little bit as well, getting the tires dirty.
Time gained and time lost.
Timothy Reed chomping at the bit after seeing a couple of mistakes. Oh, and here he goes to the inside. Contact!
Miles swings it wide like he had done multiple times heading into Le Mans, and Reed said, I'm not about that. He will take third.
Reed smelled blood in the water after mistakes from both of the drivers in front. Dives to the inside of Miles. A little bit of contact door to door, but no harm, no foul. Gets through to third.
I think Sean Bowman just had an issue, but is still moving. Christopher Capicoto is disconnected. 6.5 seconds ahead of this battle is the race leader, J.J. Wang as well.
Wow.
Reed and Miles both off, and here comes Ellis Spice. Spice out of nowhere.
Man, you think these drivers are pushing as hard as they can? Two of them off in the same corner.
I wondered. So it's now second, third, fourth, and fifth, all right here together. These guys have a ton of time back to Rebecca David in P6. Hayward rock steady right now in second. To answer the question about the Daredevil sets, they've all already been constructed except for two, and I've already made those as well. There are actually, I think, three tracks maybe on this season schedule that have stock setups, so that was nice. But the rest of them, except for Homestead and Spa, had already been made, and I made the other two.
Reed inching forward. A little bit of a different line there through that left-hander. But still closing.
What a novel concept, Zach. Staying on the track might get you to be a little faster. Might gain you a little extra advantage.
I mean, depending on the track limits, going through a couple of corners to cut, could potentially be faster.
I think maybe he meant the grass. Maybe not.
Play devil.
Oh, no! Hayward hits the barrier out of the final turn. Reed not able to capitalize, though.
And it I mean, kind of hard to tell up to this point, but doesn't seem to be any performance loss here so far.
Certainly a big challenge, if there was no damage, was going to be mitigating the run that Reed got there, and that was done. Like Jeff said earlier, biggest challenge on the tires is the left front, and that would be a big left front killer there through turn 17 and 17 and 17.
Reed took a little peek to the inside, then moved farther outside to get better entry. Both of them backing up to Miles and Spice here just a touch, battling amongst each other.
7.5 second advantage for J.J. Wang with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. And a conga line here in Sebring. These two had a great battle in the very first broadcast
here he
mission R
goes.
race at Watkins Glen, and it's on again.
That is the same move Reed pulled on Miles. Not quite able to get all the way through. Going to be side by side here with Hayward and Spice looking side by side with Miles as well.
But they'll have the inside look here headed into Sunset Bend. Hayward a little bit harder there around the outside.
Oh!
Reed able
Contact!
to roll the
Oh.
middle better and nearly rolls into the right rear tire of Olivia Hayward.
I think did roll into it, but checked up plenty as to not turn Hayward off of the racetrack.
Big battles here. 2 laps to go.
Pretty good sportsmanship there to not keep driving through the corner.
Hayward in second, Reed in third, Miles in fourth, Spice in fifth.
And to Jeff's point, they definitely got away with one there.
Certainly.
That could have been a 4-car pileup if they weren't careful.
That's back-to-back near-disaster Sunset Bends for Olivia Hayward. Will third time be the charm for Timothy Reed to get this second position?
And I got to apologize to J.J. Wang. Really haven't showed J.J. Pretty much at all here on the broadcast, but he's just too far out front.
Almost 9 seconds.
He's made it disinteresting for the lead, but very, very interesting for second.
Oh, Hayward way wide. That allows Reed to close in a little bit. Now Reed going to swing out this time. Hadn't seen that in a few laps.
Changing things up a little bit, trying to play some games, and I'm sure is planning a setup in that same corner here for the next lap or two. That has been the preferred passing turn.
Well, you don't have 2 laps. J.J. Wang is across the line with 1.5 minutes to go. The white flag is out. For J.J. Wang, it is just bring it home. 9-second lead. A lot more at stake here for Hayward and Reed. Spice is falling back a bit. Miles is closing in on Reed. Spice may get a 3-for-1 here if things go wrong.
Hayward up on the curbing a little bit. Reed, little peek to the inside here.
Good protect there for Hayward into the hairpin.
Reed using a lot of different lines to try and set up runs here. Has done a great job this far, but just has not been able to make this pass for second. A half a lap to make it happen.
Zero's on the clock. Oh, somebody spun out right in front of J.J. Wang. He makes it through without issue. Reed with another look. Now down the Ullman Straight for the final time. Boy, Miles and Spice both pushed it way wide there. J.J. Wang comes around Sunset Bend, and he will see the checkered flag here for the third time for the Mission Art Challenge Season 3. Wang takes Sebring. Reed with a big run, trying to close up. It's not going to be enough. Olivia Hayward will hang on for a second.
What a great battle between all four of those drivers here.
Hayward, Reed, Miles, and Spice. And then, 17 seconds behind, comes Rebecca David. Pretty good battle in there.
Yeah, I would say that was pretty good.
And Wang has parked it at the hairpin and will tow back to the pits. I think we're still waiting on nobody.
Waiting on
Sean
right.
Bowman across the line, and
Bowman just
that's
crossed.
it. So we'll get you the full finishing rundown here. Wang with the win, Hayward at second, Reed on the podium. Hopefully we'll talk to all three momentarily. Matthew Miles then will finish in fourth, Ella Spice in fifth, Rebecca David in sixth. Georgie Trepsick, I'm sure going to be disappointed with the P7 here. Roald Mulder likewise with an 8th place finish. Sean Bowman in 9th. In DNFs, I believe the driver that spun out in front of J.J. Wang was racing Pimentel. He will finish in 10th. And Christopher Capicoto, DNF, in the 11th position as well. So we'll wait for people to pop into the cool down room here. We'll usually talk to JJ and Olivia. I'm not sure if we've ever talked to Timothy Reed or not in his limited appearances here, but he's notched several podiums on the channel before. Regardless, a good way to come back here at Sebring.
Yeah, that was great battling there inside the top 5. Nothing necessarily for the lead, but I mean that was a pretty spectacular battle, and everybody was clean as well. That made it that much better. Other than the one incident that happened a little bit, maybe halfway through the race, but it wasn't as a result of contact. It was just a well, I guess there was contact, but it wasn't as a result of somebody getting turned. We'll put it that way.
Well, we had Olivia Hayward for a second and then lost her. So we'll wait to see if Olivia returns or not. Okay, Olivia will be here shortly is the good word on the street. And Timothy's already left. So no Timothy Reed here today, but a fantastic drive for him. And hopefully we'll see him again here soon. I believe next week we're at the Charlotte Roval. So that will be fun. We got a couple of things coming up this week. A couple of interesting races. You may or may not have heard about this little thing called the Daredevil Series that's coming back up here on Wednesday, here on Turn 200. It's Lotus 79s at the Auto Club Speedway for the 5th season of competition. That will be a whole bunch of fun. We've also got the RAL Figure 8 Frenzy season finale this Monday at Irwindale with the Pro 2 Lights, I do believe. So that'll be a good time. Venom Truck Series is at Gateway, and I believe that the Max V trucks will be at Indianapolis. So that'll be a good time. We'll talk to Olivia Hayward now. Yep, there was a lot of that. Yeah, great battling. I'm sure you're probably a bit worn out there, having to fend off so many people for so long.
Yeah, I mean, I was just talking to JJ about this. Like that first lap or two, obviously I'm trying to hold on to draft and hope that we can pull away as a duo. JJ was just too fast, and the problem was that Matthew held on to me better than I held on to JJ. And so I think I used the best of my tyres, gained nothing from it, and then had to defend for about 8 laps. It was really respectful, though. I appreciate that everyone racing was not just going for ridiculous dives. I know there's a bit of contact with Timothy. It's Sunset, but that felt kind of fair enough. And yeah, it's good to hold on and put together a solid race. I've not exactly had the best start to the season. I've not really covered myself in glory.
Matt, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, congrats on a great run here. Under pressure, I mean, the entire race pretty much, other than chasing JJ there for a couple of laps. But, I mean, you came away and handled the pressure absolutely 100%, as you should. I mean, how difficult is it to concentrate on what's in front of you when you know you have multiple drivers bearing down on you all throughout this race?
I just had to try and focus on the corner exit, because this car is so strong on traction. If you can be the one on the power first, you've got a good chance of putting enough of a gap to the car behind that they aren't really within striking distance. So I know I made a couple of mistakes a couple of times, especially through, I think it's Tower, which is what gave Max that one shot through Le Mans, and that battle sort of down the back straight. But yeah, I was just obviously trying not to give myself vulnerable under braking, but trying to back up a little bit so I could focus on the exit as much as possible, and then just praying that the power went down cleanly, and I managed to pull a bit of a gap to the car behind because I knew through the next corner they'd be right back on the bumper.
Certainly, we're right there for a long time here in this one. Congrats on the second place finish. Well done. Shout outs for you.
Yeah, I mean, shout outs to everyone who comes out and makes these races happen. Alice, Georgie for, being good teammates, and especially Alice for sort of letting me know what was going on behind me during some of that battle. Because I can only see so much in my mirror, so he was just calling out if one was going for a move on the other, and you had a bit of breathing room. But yeah, obviously thanks to you for putting the show on every week. And I did have the Euros final on another monitor during that race, so I guess shout out to England. Hopefully we can win one of these for once. Well, I'm not too hopeful, but you never know.
Well, go enjoy. Go enjoy that. We'll hopefully talk to you again here soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, that's don't like the pessimism in the football. Got to have some confidence with the football. All right, let's talk to your race winner. It feels like it's been forever, but we got JJ Wang here. At least I have got JJ Wang here up in booth 200. Welcome back. Welcome back to Victory Lane for the third time already this season.
Yeah, thanks so much. Tommy, Matt, good to talk to the both of you again. I was looking forward to this one, honestly. And it just kind of worked out. So it's you honestly never know these things. Just silly mistake, silly spin, put you in the pack, and seems like it was difficult to pass here. And that's just kind of like Sebring with a car that can put down power pretty well.
I was gonna say you opened up a can here today. There's no way around it. Nearly a 10-second advantage at the end. I mean, that can't all come down to just clean air and no challenges. I mean, there's some extra speed in there somewhere from you.
Yeah, I don't know, something about EV motors. I don't know, they just kind of intuitively make sense to me. I'm not really quite sure what is it. Jeff and I have had that discussion many times because, if you don't really know what you're doing and it's working, that's just opportunity for somebody else to figure something out, right? But hopefully, thankfully, I've still just kept my legs under me. So yeah, just being comfortable with how much power it just gets put down instantly with this car. That's kind of my secret, I would say.
All right, Matt, what you got for the race winner?
Well, first of all, congratulations. Second of all, I have to apologize. I don't really think we had your car on the broadcast almost at all because you were so far out front. We were focused on the battle for second. So that's number 2. Number 3, I'm not even going to ask you about PMR because you've just absolutely whipped the field and answered everything that you need to. But Zach Flaum in the chat asked us what you're looking forward to for FSS other than Chicago.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to just a really good grid in the Super Formula. Just kind of, it's that whole group, the FRS Discord. They're a great group of guys. Raced really hard, actually. I actually think they're probably the most aggressive group I've ever raced against all throughout the field. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I think the Super Formula, a little bit down in participation recently, but just looking forward to just kind of good grids there, and of course co-running it with Zach and Dakota.
Alrighty, partner. Nice job here today. Shoutouts for you as usual.
Yeah, I gotta give thanks to the both of you. Even when you folks can't make it, you put in your best to get a full coverage of our little series, and I just want to say that's greatly appreciated. I know everybody talks about it and is very thankful for the effort you put in. So sometimes Discord might be a little quiet, folks doing other things, but it's definitely greatly appreciated anytime the weekend comes and we see the both of you in the booth. We know it's going to be a good time. Big shout out to Olivia for coming back on the podium. I'm really happy to see her back. Big shout out to just the whole field for coming out. I know this one, I was expecting a little bit of a lighter grid. I know a lot of folks in PMR does not have this track, but I thought the turnout was kind of decent for the size of this car. And big thanks to Jeff. He and I we actually had a late night session last night working on some telemetry and some braking. There's a couple of spots that this car just wants to spin no matter what you do, and coming into this round, just being comfortable with the sets of corners that this car throws the tantrum in, I think that made all the difference today. So big thanks to Jeff. And that'll do it for me.
All right, partner. 3rd win of the season for 3-time JJ Wayne. Congrats. Go celebrate. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks so much, Tommy, Matt.
All righty, partner. Pretty easy cleanup here today after a fun race at Sebring.
Yeah, that was a fun time. JJ, of course, just the class of the field, as he is many times here on the Sunday Top Split Strength of Field. This one particularly seemed like he was a leg up on the rest. But, great stuff from everybody else. Shout out to the drivers who came out. Smaller field, like we've mentioned, but great field, obviously. Good battles throughout. So shout out to all the drivers, and thanks to everybody who was hanging out in the chat with us here, particularly Zach and Jeff for giving us lots to talk about while they were in here together. And then I believe, is that Sean Bowman?
Yes.
Sean Begley. Sean Begley. Yes, Sean Begley. So shout out to Sean for hanging out with us here as well. Thank you guys. Anybody else that's watching, appreciate you. And we have a full schedule here this week. Finally, right back to it.
Yes, indeed. It is RL Figure 8 Frenzy season finale tomorrow night. Urban Dales with the Pro 2 Lights. Tuesday night, the Venom Truck Series at the Great Turn 200's Great Googly Moogly at Gateway. That'll be a lot of fun. Wednesday night, the Daredevil Series is back, baby. We are back at Auto Club for the Season 5 opener. So don't miss that. Whatever you do, be here for Daredevil on Wednesday night. Thursday night is the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series from Indianapolis. And that will bring us back here to next Sunday, where we will be at the Charlotte Roval for 20 more minutes of racing for the Mission R Challenge, week number 6 of Season 3 of 2024. So if you'd like to be a part of that, hit subscribe on your way out of the stream here tonight, and we'll hope to see you sometime again here in the next 7 days. But that's all we got for you here today. For everybody with a Mission R community, for the GOAT, the one and only Mr. Matt Williamson, I'm Tommy Cook, saying until we meet again, so long from Sebring International Raceway, where JJ Wang takes his 3rd win of the season. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.